I'm playing chemist. It'll be fine, right? Someone tell me it's gonna be fine. Stuff's gonna start sagging real quick. I'm going to make this with you guys on camera. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I've spent a lot of time over the last month researching all of this stuff. So let's talk peptides. Some of you watched my This is 45 video with the things that I've been doing turning 45, like getting a nightgown, which I am wearing right now in honor of that video. I found it on my sister-in-law's garage sale for $1, 2 of them for $1. And I was like, these are soft. I need me a nightgown. Not the most attractive thing, but like, it's just like a nightgown. Soft, so soft. Pam decided to tell me on our little adventure earlier this week as she was giggling, these were not her nightgowns on a garage sale. They were her dead mother's nightgowns. So Rip Marianne, thanks for a comfy nightgown. I have been learning all about peptides recently, and I decided to do a little bit of research into some peptides that you can add into like serums and face creams for topical solutions, okay? So I ordered these 3 different peptides, you guys. I got them from Scantifix.com, and the first one we're gonna talk about is this. Let's just dive right into it. And I'm sorry that these are flipped, but I'm in selfie mode on the camera. Syn-ake, okay? Synthetic snake venom. To be more specific, it's the temple viper, but it is synthetic snake venom. I made some notes here. So what it does is it relaxes the facial muscles to give you like a similar look like Botox gives you without like the injections, okay? It reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, which, you know, I'm 45, so I gotta start working on all the things. It improves elasticity. It provides rich hydration when you pair it with some hyaluronic acid, which we'll talk about. It gives you a smoothing effect. It diminishes roughness and improves your skin texture. And you can see visible results in a short period of time. How short of period of time? It did not say. Just short. So take that for what it's worth. Synthetic snake venom. That is what I'm going to mix and put on my face. But I'm going to pair it with another peptide called Snap-8. Now, Snap-8 you can get in an injectable peptide, but I wanted something for serums and face creams. So I found a place you can get these peptides like this. So Snap-8 does pretty much everything that the Syn-ake does, but you can notice it a little bit like sooner. It says in a couple weeks, you can notice your improvement in your skin. It's well tolerated by most skin types, and it supports collagen production because I'm 45. Okay, I got 3 different peptides, okay? We're gonna talk about this last one secondly because I'm gonna put that in a moisturizer, but right now we are going to make a serum. Now, I got from Cosmedica on Amazon, you can order it on Amazon, pure hyaluronic acid serum, which is good for hydration. You're supposed to put it on your face first, and then if you wanna boost benefits, you can put the red light mask on, and after that, you would seal it in with your moisturizer. So serum first, give it a few minutes to soak in your skin, seal it up with the moisturizer. But we're gonna add a different peptide into that moisturizer, which we'll talk about later. I'm playing chemist. So we have our Snap-8, and it is 100 milligrams of Snap-8, and we have 100 milligrams of the Syn-ake, which is the synthetic snake venom. I've watched a lot of videos on this, you guys. Now, there's not a lot of peptide in these. Like 100 grams of Syn-ake is that much, and 100 grams of the Snap-8 is this much. This Syn-ake, I think, is pretty potent stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hyaluronic acid. Okay, we're gonna dump the serum in here because this dropper is taking too long. And then we're gonna use the dropper to put it back into the bottle. You wanna make sure you have a clean workspace while you're doing this also. I have some sterile alcohol pads that I wipe my mixing bowl out that I'm going to be mixing the moisturizer in. So just make sure that you have a clean workspace, all right? I'm just gonna use the dropper to just mix it a little bit, just very, very slowly, but it's dissolving kind of on its own already. but just to break out maybe some of the bigger chunks. This is a 2-ounce bottle of hyaluronic acid. Sorry, my nails are all jinked up. 2-ounce bottle of hyaluronic acid that I'm mixing these 2 peptides. 2 peptides in. So while these are kind of dissolving in their little containers, I don't want to tip it, but they're like already pretty dissolved in there. I'm just gonna leave them sit for a minute before I dump them. Pour, whatever, squeegee back into the bottle. We're gonna talk about the moisturizer, which is, I'm going to use the GHK-CU peptide, which is 300 milligrams of this, okay? This is a copper peptide. Where are my notes here? So copper peptides improve skin health and appearance. It occurs naturally in the human body and it's known for its regenerative properties. Helps with wound healing, reduce inflammation, stimulates collagen and elastin production. Helps with texture and tone. It has antioxidant properties and it helps with tissue repair. Now you can get this in an injectable also. So I think like the wound healing and stuff like that probably comes more from the peptide that you would give yourself a shot with. But I am already doing the weight loss shot. So if anybody wants information on that, you can send me a message. And then I'm gonna start with NAD next week, which I did a shot of it locally in Eau Claire a couple weeks ago, and I felt amazing. That's a completely separate video, but I'm gonna be using this in a topical sense, and this is different than the peptide that you order for injection, okay? This is just for topical use. Let's finish our serum. So we're just going to take the dropper, and we are going to suck this, put it back into the bottle. Now that they're combined, I am just going to roll that in my hand like this to kind of just mix them together. Now let's talk about the serum that I currently am using. Currently I'm using the Ordinary from Sephora, and it is a multi-peptide serum, but it doesn't say what peptides are in it. It just says 45, you guys. If you know, you know. I refuse to get cheaters. Okay, multi-peptide serum, multi-technology peptide formulated for skin support, okay? But it doesn't tell me what peptides are in it. That's all it says. And you apply this a few drops morning and night. I probably don't do it twice a day. I should, but let's be real. Once a day, for sure in the morning, I always put this on. And then I put moisturizer over the top of it to help seal it in. And my face feels pretty good on it, but I don't really know if this is targeting the wrinkles and things like that. And I love Botox. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Botox, but it's very expensive, okay? For the few months that it lasts, it's very expensive. So I wanted to try an alternative to kind of help. I don't have a ton of wrinkles, but like your crow's feet and those fine lines, you know, I don't have a lot of breakage in the muscles in my forehead that like show unless I'm going like this. But like these areas down here and, you know, stuff's gonna start sagging real quick. Let's make our moisturizer. So I have 1 glass bowl that I've kind of wiped out with sterile alcohol pads just because it was in the dishwasher and who really knows how clean it got. We're gonna take our copper peptide. They are a very pretty blue color. The copper peptides are. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump our copper peptide in our glass bowl, our pretty blue, kind of purple almost, I guess, copper peptide in that. And then I ordered some glass medicine droppers from Amazon. I didn't need 4, but it was the smallest pack I could find, which are 1 milliliter droppers. You guys ready for this? You need 1 dropper full of distilled water. So I purchased this distilled water from CVS this morning for one little dropper full of water. Thankfully it was only $2. About 1 dropper full. I love this. Makes me feel sexy. Okay, and I didn't want to use metal because everybody was using glass and they had like some wood stirs on the internet. I didn't have anything like that. So If anybody knows what this is for your food chopper to clean out the little grooves in it, but it was brand new in the package, so it hasn't been used at all. Wipe this down with my sterile wipes here. Okay, we're going to just mix this together. Next thing that you need is a half a drop of glycerin. The lady on the internet said everybody most likely has this. Do you have it? I don't have it. I never even heard of it before. But I had to buy a big jug of it to get a half a dropper full. What is it good for? Vegetable glycerin. It is good for rough and dry skin in need of extra moisturization. Okay, so we're gonna add a half a dropper of that, which is about 50 mLs to our copper peptide solution, which is gonna help thicken it up a little bit, according to the internet. And we're just gonna mix. The recipe that I found on the internet had 4 different moisturizers that she listed off you could use. 2 of them were really expensive. They were like in the 50s of dollars. Like, I can't do that until I know this is gonna work. But there was 2 other ones, and one of them was the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Look at me influencing. The Neutrogena Hydro Boost water cream was suggested as one of the items, which I could order right on Amazon. So it's a really thick cream. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add it into my little glass jar, as much as I can get with my little scoop here. And then we're gonna mix that together and put it back into this jar. And then we're just gonna mix this until I feel like it's mixed up really good. Now this water cream is super duper thick, so it's gonna take a second, but it's a super pretty color. Peptides are where it's at. Now you guys, I don't think any of this is gonna burn my face off or leave me scarred for life because it's a topical solution. Again, I'm using the Syn-ake peptide, which is spelled SYN-AKE, and I'm using the Snap-8, and that was what I put in the serum. And I am using the GHK-CU copper peptide in the moisturizer. Okay, that's what the moisturizer looks like. There wasn't a lot of instruction on how long you're supposed to mix it or leave it sit for before you can use it. It's ready right away. We're just gonna give it a rip, but we'll just mix it up a little bit just to be safe. Cheers! So a little drop, okay? And a little goes a long way. This bottle of Ordinary, you can see, I've been using this for a few months, and it's like, and I only use it once a day, but like it's pretty much full still. Mix this together and hope that the viper venom doesn't make my skin completely relax where I'm like, nah. It'll be fine, right? Someone tell me it's gonna be fine. Ooh, you know what I sleep on a lot? Is this area right there. I'm gonna start sagging too. This is 45. Okay, let's scoop this back into our jar. And then I think I'm just gonna use, it's actually kind of a perfect size. Who knows what you can find in your kitchen? Everything is got its purpose. Once I get this back into here, I think I'm just gonna use the excess that's left on here to put on my face for this experiment. All the information that I read on the hyaluronic acid serum and this, it said that if you stored it in the refrigerator, it would have a longer shelf life and keep the peptides like maybe more potent. They won't lose their potency if you keep it in the refrigerator. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do that quite yet or not, because I feel like if it's not sitting in front of me when I wash my face, I'm not gonna use it. So I'm just gonna use a little bit that's left on here. Ooh, I always forget that. Always forget that spot. So far, I'm not turning into a gremlin. This water cream feels good. Fine lines and wrinkles. Elasticity. Woo! Okay, that is it. Let me know your questions, comments, concerns. I hope everyone learned something new today. And if you've experimented with any of these things before, whether it's been in a topical solution or in an injectable, I'd love to hear your feedback on it and what results you had. So after maybe a couple months, let's just say midsummer, we'll do a check-in. Okay, let's do a close-up. Right? Everyone have a fabulous week, and may the odds for turning 40-something or older forever be in your